Welcome. We're back. Another day in the market. Final day for the week tomorrow, and then we have a 3-day weekend. Market will be closed on Monday, the day after July 4th. So yeah, we're gonna get into everything. We're just gonna start off with Bitcoin. While people are hopping into the stream after Bitcoin, probably gonna talk about the overall market and my thoughts on it, in the short term. After that, we're going to talk about a bunch of Reddit stocks that pulled back today. A few names that we've already been talking about, like Clover and SOFI and Wish. After I finish that, I'll go over the ongoing trades, and then we'll do taker requests. So, for new people joining into the stream, don't drop any takers in the chat just yet. Wait for like 25 minutes, and then I'll do taker requests then. But yeah, let's just hop into Bitcoin first. Pulled back today. Go down to the 1-hour chart. Pretty much, Bitcoin made a move. Pretty much bottomed out on the 26th of June at 31, around pretty much 30k actually, and it ran all the way up to 36.6k, and then it pulled back to about 33k, which is where Bitcoin is currently at. There actually is some 4-hour hidden and bullish divergence developing on Bitcoin now. That's pretty good. Really, I don't know if I'd call it a bull flag. It looks a little bit too extended to be a bull flag, but I'd probably just be watching this on Bitcoin. Maybe just a little bit of a down sloping channel. That's really all I could see, over on the 1-hour chart. Come back over to the 4. And then on the daily, you do have the classic bullish divergence, but you definitely want it to start increasing on the MACD again, hopefully soon. That's really it for Bitcoin. It's still above 30k. The whole entire world is watching that 30k level. We'll see if it can continue to hold that over the weekend. This will be the final stream of the week because the market closes tomorrow. It's not closed tomorrow, but after the day is over in the market, there's no point in me streaming after. Just for the newer people in the stream, I stream every day that the market, or I stream every single night when the market will be open the next day. So that's why I'm streaming tonight. Besides the point, let's talk about the actual stock market. Futures are relatively flat. S&P futures are up a little bit. NASDAQ futures are down a little bit. Today was kind of just another low volume floating around type of day in the market. We did have a little bit of a pullback intraday, but that also kind of got bought up, especially in tech. Looking at the S&P 500, this is now roughly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of closing at all-time highs in a row. Very, very impressive. See if there's any fib levels we're hitting. Actually exceeding the 1618 by a little bit on the daily if we go for the minor pullback, but if we go for the larger one, the 1618 on the S&P 500 be about 4350-ish. But yeah, on the S&P, you're not even overbought yet on the daily. There is no bearish divergence. The trend is good. Things for right now on the S&P 500, they're good until they're not. It's, I've been saying that every single night for a while now. That's really all it is. If we go over to the SPY, which is the ETF for it, you can see that we still are just floating higher. Volume it's actually increasing a little bit between yesterday and today, but relatively lower than it was on our last peak. So that's definitely a concern. But the VIX is just kind of doing nothing, which I guess is good for right now. But eventually, you'd figure that at some point this is going to have a pop, like it usually tends to every so often. Dow Jones Industrials had a good day, up about 0.38%. And then if we go over to the NASDAQ, that's where I'm probably going to spend most of the time talking about what's going on there. But tomorrow morning, I believe we have job numbers coming out. So depending on how that goes, that could definitely be, not only a sign for the rest of the day tomorrow, but even just the short term in the market. So definitely look out for that. I think, again, don't quote me on this, but I think it's 8:30 a.m. EST is when those numbers will drop. So be watching futures before the market opens and just seeing how people are reacting to whatever the numbers are. So yeah, that's really it. I mean, we got to talk about the NASDAQ as well. You do have some classic bearish divergence starting to develop on the daily, which is kind of implying that tech is currently getting a little bit overbought. We've had a very, very big run on tech for the past couple of weeks especially, but really ever since like the beginning of May, tech's been going crazy. But yeah, on the 4-hour, on the daily, you have classic bearish divergence. You have actually triple classic bearish divergence on the MACD on the 4-hour for the NASDAQ. The RSI is overbought. Every other time you were at these levels on the RSI, you did see a short-term pullback. So I do still think that, again, tech had another flat day, but I do think that tech still has a decent chance of pulling back soon. And also, regardless, tech has been lagging. You know, the S&P and the IWM and the Dow Jones were all up more than the NASDAQ and the QQQ today. So tech certainly is kind of looking a little bit tired over here. Maybe just some profit taking. Who knows? Obviously, the trend is still bullish. Long term, anything above 14.2K is still bullish. But maybe you just get, you know, a little bit of a pullback being overbought, and then you go higher. We'll see what happens. I just take it day by day. But then if we go over to the 1 hour on the NASDAQ, it's, you know, it kind of had a little bit of a scare today, had like a one quick drop, but then by the end of the day, that dip kind of got eaten up for tech. And what was once classic bearish divergence on the NASDAQ is now developing into hidden bullish divergence on the NASDAQ on the 1 hour. So again, you know, the 1 hour changes very, very quickly like it just did. So we'll see how much, you know, that will mean. But again, it really just comes down to the job numbers tomorrow over any, you know, other technicals. And yeah, that's really it for the overall market. Anything else I missed? Looks like the dollar was flat today. The 10-year yield was pretty flat. Nothing too much else about the market. So I guess we'll move on over into Reddit stocks. We'll start off with AMC and GameStop, just to look at them because, again, these kind of, I don't say that there's a deep correlation, but there are definitely many instances where AMC and GameStop move together and a lot of other Reddit stocks kind of follow. So we're just going to literally just look at these for a few seconds here. But before I get into that, we're going to talk about Clover and SOFI and Wish. Also, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for 2,600 subscribers. We hit that yesterday. So if you're not subscribed to the stream, make sure to hit that button. And yeah, let me just take a look at the chat for a second. Next stream will be on Monday night. That is correct, as the market will be closed on Monday. Yeah, pretty much looks like that's the only question in the chat for right now. I'll come back to the chat in a little bit. But yeah, AMC. A lot of people are talking about this symmetrical triangle on AMC. With the pullback today, it did break out of it. But again, I only charted this triangle on AMC last night when we were looking at it. To me, all I care about is this range. Between 51 and 65. Anything within the range to me is just kind of neutral on AMC. It could break either direction, obviously. It was developing hidden bullish divergence yesterday, but with the pullback today, that's not developing. So what happened on a lot of different, you know, Reddit stocks today was like a pullback, but that kind of messed up a lot of technicals. We were talking about this last night where a lot of these Reddit stocks were actually showing 4-hour hidden bullish divergence. And historically, like literally this year alone, 4-hour hidden bullish divergence has been a great signal. You go all the way back down to $5. You could see you had that same exact type of indicator after the initial pop in January. It went from, you know, $2 up to 20, came back down to 5. You had the hidden bullish divergence, and that's when you kind of went crazy again. Let's go, Skip T. Lou. Vibes in the chat for the $15 donation. Thank you, Skip T. Lou, for another donation. You someone last night, $15 tip, appreciate it. Let's get some vibes in the chat. Early tea time, bottoms up. All right, let's get some. I think it's really hot, so hopefully I don't like burn my tongue, but no, it's fine. Got the FTM mug. Free trading movement. If you want to join the Discord, the link's in the description. Anybody can join it. If you want to get FTM merch, that's the pinned chat. But yeah, let's get vibes in the chat for Skip T. Lou. Really appreciate it. Let me get one more sip. Also, let's get to 30 likes like right now. All right. But yeah, that's really it for AMC. Above 51, it's still fine. You just want to continue to hold above 51. That's really it. You know, if we go over to GameStop, that level is 220. It broke the 220 level. Now, you know, there was hidden bullish divergence, but it really did absolutely nothing. I'm just going to clear up. Actually, I don't want to clear up the whole chart. Will it reverse? All right, perfect. Let's see. You know, it's kind of strange. It's having a lot of fake outs under this 208 level. You could see that this 209 level on GameStop has been support over here, but then you have these fake outs, then you come back over. It's kind of, it's strange. You know, that's just how technicals can be with a lot more volatile types of names. But again, another type of symmetrical triangle showing up on GameStop. So, you know, we'll see what this turns into. The last one was very, very epic. Right over here is when I kind of put out an options alert for premium members that ended up running literally like 1,000%. There was a member who stuck through it like the whole entire way and made a crazy amount. I'm not going to say the name or anything, but it was a great time. And then it, you know, kind of peaked and now it's pulled back. But that's really it for GameStop and AMC. I'm probably going to spend more time talking about Clover, Wish, and SOFI. So let's start off with Wish, then I'll get into SOFI, and then I'll do Clover. Yeah, we're going to start with Wish. Let me just look at the chat again. Thank you for dropping the Discord and the merch. Links in the chat, Cheddar Freeze, appreciate it. What else we got? Let me just scroll up a little bit. Rip Runners T says AMC a hedge against the falling market. Me thinks, not me, but he said that. You know, there have been many instances, like many days when the market was red and then AMC and GameStop were just green. Like people have made so many jokes about it, you know, on social media and in our Discord. It's like, wow, this is like the best way to hedge. Again, I'm not going to really voice my opinion on that. Again, I'm relatively neutral. I've always been with these Wall Street bet stocks. I've never been ever telling anybody to FOMO into them, which in certain instances actually did make a lot of people a lot of money. It's just not my type of trading, but I've also never really hated on them. I understand it, and they move, you know, they move. D says subscribing to Champs Premium. He said premium Snapchat. I don't have a premium Snapchat. Was an amazing decision so far this year. And then he corrected himself and said premium alerts. Drew says right on the week, but the Discord's been fire. Yeah, I had a pretty good week up until today. Today was my first not good day this week, mainly due to Clover, which we're about to talk about after Wish and SOFI. What else we got? We need a shot of maple syrup for our neighbor's Canada Day. I don't even know if I have syrup. I probably do, but I'm not going to go get it right now. But yeah, hopefully everybody's going to have a nice break this weekend. Happy 4th of July to everybody, and hope you enjoy it. You know, spend time with family and everything. But yeah, let's get back over into the Wish chart. We talked about this, right? And again, I'm an unbiased chart reader. Okay, right over here, I didn't want to say it, but again, I'm never going to lie just to please people. Right over here, when Wish broke out of this rising wedge, you can literally go to Tuesday night stream, and you can see I literally said the words, there are bearish technicals on Wish in the short term. It was not me being bearish on the stock, it was just me conveying the message of what I saw in the chart. There was textbook hidden bearish divergence. It broke out of a rising wedge, which is a bearish breakout, and I brought that up on Tuesday night, you know, and we've had a, you know, since that breakout point, we've pretty much fallen about 11% on Wish. So you had a technical breakout, it lost a little bit of steam, you've pulled back. It's not the end of the world. It still is above 1179, which is that swing low from April 20th, 420. On the daily, you definitely want to start seeing an increase in positive momentum. There is some hidden bearish divergence developing. It's not confirmed yet, so you don't have to worry about it for now, but it is developing. D with the 1111 donation with the message vibrations. Thanks for the vibes. Yeah, let's get some vibes in the chat. It took me a second to put that together, but yeah, let's get some vibes in the chat for D. Thank you for the 1111. Appreciate the tips. A lot of tips this week, really. Thank you all very much. And yeah, moving on over. Well, let's just finish Wish. We go down to the 1 hour. There actually is the contradiction. You do have some hidden bullish divergence. Never mind. As of yesterday, it was hidden bullish divergence, but it's actually canceled out today because to get hidden bullish divergence, you need to make a higher low on price. Now that you broke that previous low, it's not hidden bullish divergence. So never mind. So let me take that off the chart. And at this point, it's really all about 1180. That's your next support. It doesn't mean it's going to touch 1180. It could bounce above that if it just opens up well tomorrow, but you just want to hold above 1180. It was resistance a little bit over here and over here, but it really was your swing low on 420. And on Wish, hopefully it does good. Again, I'm not hating on the stock. I'm just talking about the technicals. It was certainly a bearish breakout here, and now it's already pulled back. So it's at the point where it could reverse at any point. It could reverse tomorrow. It could reverse in a week. I don't know. You know, I'm not here to do fortune telling, but we'll take it day by day, and hopefully it starts to look a little bit better. We start seeing some nice price action, but pretty rough pullback today for sure. Yeah, let's move on to SOFI. Hidden bullish divergence is still developing on the 4 hour, but another pullback. Again, a lot of these Reddit names really got slapped today. And SOFI wasn't really a Reddit name. I guess when it was IPOE, a lot of people were talking about the high short interest, but over the past like week or so, it really heated up. If you look at all those Wall Street bet scanners, you know, because they had the lockup expiration. A lot of people bought that dip. I bought that dip. I made some profits off of it, got out of it. Looking at the chart, you fell under 19. You know, earlier in the day, you fell under 19. We talked about that $19 level last night on stream. It broke that level. So, you know, after that level, it gets a little bit rough. I don't know if this could be a harmonic. Again, it's the 1 hour chart, but it's definitely not at a PCZ. It's kind of, I hate when you get like a 0.72 retrace from X to B, because it's like in between a Gartley and like a butterfly or different types of variations. It's just not perfect. So not really going to even consider that right now. I guess your next major support is 1750, but again, if this hidden bullish divergence can continue to develop, which again, there's a very high probability that this does confirm at some point, because you are way above the low at $14 and your hidden bullish divergence is already developing. I do think with like a 90% probability it's going to confirm at some point. The question is just when. That's really it for SOFI. Not much else of a pattern to look at, and then hopefully it can reclaim 19. And then moving on to Clover, rough day for sure. Yesterday was another classic gap up, or not even, I don't even know if it gapped up yesterday, but it had a hot morning yesterday, and then it pulled back on low volume into the close. And then today it was just red all day. Didn't even have like the morning pop that we've seen like the other like few days this week. Like literally Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think we had morning pops. Definitely on Tuesday and Wednesday. I can't really remember on Monday. Might have dipped in the morning on Monday, but kind of broke that little pattern today. Just was red, and we just continued to drop the whole entire day. Again, pull back 7%. It's not the end of the world in terms of the swing trade. The trade's only down 3% because it started off green. Like literally the day after I put it out, it was up 5%. Now it's in the red. It's down 3%. There still is quite some more room to the stop loss. Again, we talked about this last night. The biggest concern I had was that hidden bullish divergence on the 4 hour is no longer developing. It got so close. Like the day after I put out the trade, everything was looking like it was lining up, and then it's just not looking too good right now. You know, it just can't catch any bids. On the 4 hour and the daily, there just isn't much to talk about. And I was hoping that the 4 hour and the daily could start showing more variables, but now they're kind of just still showing not too much. However, this 1 hour chart on Clover, again, I don't really mainly use 1 hour charts for swing trades. Sometimes I do if a ticker moves quickly enough and if it actually shows a lot of stuff on the 1 hour. I really have been trading the 1 hour chart on Clover this whole entire month, and it's worked out pretty well. Except for today, I didn't even really trade Clover. I just kind of sat there and watched it drop. But except for yesterday. Yesterday I tried to trade it, kind of messed up a little bit, but yeah, you know, looking at the 1 hour on Clover, that's where it does get interesting again. You know, you had a rough pullback today, but there's two different types of harmonics forming on low time frames. Again, they're low time frames. It doesn't mean too much in the overall thesis of the swing trade, which could last multiple weeks up to a month. But what they can do is, if these low time frames do play out, like we have seen many times over this past month, low time frames playing out, like when we had classic bullish divergence in this wedge, if they play out again, then you can get a bounce on the price, and that can in turn allow that hidden bullish divergence to develop again. But on the 1 hour for Clover, let me go to the 30-minute first. On the 30-minute, you kind of have a bullish butterfly. If you look at the B to D PCZ, it's at the 1618, close to a 786 from X to B. Also, on the 1 hour, it's not at a PCZ, but a potential bullish Gartley PCZ would be around $12. Pretty textbook too if it gets down to 12. I mean, this is really clean looking. It's not a perfect 618 if you go off of like this little, I can't really point to, but you see like this little wick over here. That's what kind of makes it like a little bit deeper than the 618. But if you go off all of these other candles, then you do have like a perfect Gartley. And not only just that B point, because that's again just a little bit off. But the real thing that I like here a lot on this one is that $12 point will be two different types of PCZs in one. You know, you definitely get that maybe like around half the time. I don't know the actual numbers on Gartleys, but it's also really cool to see when harmonics show, you know, PCZs from X to D and then also B to D. So at this $12 point, which is also a psychological support, you have the 786 retrace from X to D, and then you also have the 1272 from B to D. So that's like two perfect, like literally perfect points lining up at a psychological support. So 12. 12 is the level that you want to hold on Clover at this point. On the 1 hour, classic bullish divergence is possible if you have a good day tomorrow. On the 30-minute, classic bullish divergence is already developing. And then on the 15-minute, triple classic bullish divergence is confirmed. So low time frames again look pretty decent going into tomorrow. It depends again on job numbers, on the overall open. But all I'm really hoping for is that all these different types of formations on low time frames can just allow for the 4-hour hidden bullish divergence to confirm. Because again, that graded context of the messy cipher, but also trying to start making higher lows and get a reversal on the trend. So yeah, that's it for Clover and all those Reddit stocks. I just wanted to bring up there in the title of the stream in the thumbnail. So I wanted to cover them. Now we're going to talk about the ongoing trades. After I finish these ongoing trades and just giving updates on them, I'm going to do tick requests for the rest of the stream. And then I'll be out of here for, 3 days? Long weekend. So yeah, make sure to join the Discord. The link is in the description. I'll be chatting the Discord with everybody tomorrow, talking about what I see on all the charts during the market. Hit that like button. We're really slacking on the likes tonight. I'm going to be honest. We're still at 21 likes. I don't know what's going on. But hit that subscribe button as well. And yeah, all right, let me look at the chat for a little bit. Then we'll talk about the ongoing trades. US oil was up today, probably due to tomorrow's OPEC MTG. I don't know what that acronym means. Won't let you like more than one sparse. I know there's definitely like a good 20 people. Obviously I don't know who it is, but there's always like a solid 20 likes on the stream right off the rip. There's definitely like 20 people who are very devoted. Hit that like button without me saying anything. Whoever you are, thank you very much. Because the rest of the likes come from like me begging for them, so I'm sure that could be a little bit annoying. But yeah, let's talk about the ongoing trades really quickly. EDU, most of them, they're really, there's only, 5 ongoing trades that aren't premium right now, because again, I'm still a little bit concerned with how high the market is. But unfortunately, a lot of them did pull back today. From the premium trades, it was actually a pretty decent day, except for just one. Oh my gosh, except for like one of them. So hopefully they can start doing better. But if we look at EDU, it's dropped 6%. It's above 736 still. So you just want to continue to hold above that. Descending broadening wedge, classic bullish divergence is still possible, but you got to start getting some more life. I mean, it's just continuing to reject this supply line. That's really it. All you need to do on EDU is break above this supply line before falling under 736. As long as you can do that, it looks fine. But again, it is down 6% now. It has failed to break that for 3 days. So definitely needs to start trying at least. We move on over to CGC. It closed like inches below the historical level we've been talking about, which is about 24.14. Definitely wanted to see it get a little bit higher. Otherwise, then you could be headed back down to lower levels. So that's an important level. That 4-hour hidden bullish divergence is really losing steam. At least it's not turning into bearish divergence. But you got to get some more life on this. That's really it. Workhorse, it already hit the first target. At this point, that second target's not looking too good for the short term. But we'll see. This is the best trade this week so far. 20% gain in like a week itself. Moving on to ALLO, the green one today, up 2%. After getting stop hunted, reclaimed 25. As long as you can close daily candles above 25 on ALLO, it's looking nice. Trade is currently up 7%, and it broke 26.50 and closed above it. So highest daily candle close on ALLO since May 20th. Everything right now is looking good for ALLO. Hopefully it can continue to do well. And then finally PSTH, double bottoming, but pulled back today. You still just want to hold above 22.26 on PSTH. But that's really it for the ongoing trades. What else we get in the chat? Henrik Fisker should pay you for the promotion you gave the car. Yeah, I just do it because I really like the company. So I mean, if Fisker, that's never going to happen. But if I ever you know, get to a point where that type of like a sponsorship is possible, that would probably be my dream sponsorship. But I don't even know how hard that would be. They have actually worked with a few influencers, so we'll see. But also, I think it would be a little bit. I don't know if I want to use the word messed up, but you know, if I'm gonna be like also sponsored by the stock that I'm a huge fan of, like just like I feel like that would be a little bit, what's the word to use there? Not shady, but like it just doesn't seem right, you know, kind of seems like I'm being like a shill. But maybe that's the right word to use there. Like if they're actually like sponsoring, like if any brand sponsors me, I don't really want to like promote like they're biased. You get what I'm saying? I obviously am biased with Fisker as like a fan of the company, but if I was like actually getting money from them, then I wouldn't really be able to like talk about the stock probably. So maybe not then. I don't know. CV, you see the little channel on S&P futures testing the supply line. So on the daily, for how I have it charted, not for the wedge, but you're just talking about a channel. I don't know exactly what you're looking at, like, you know, which time frame and where you're starting, but I don't know if you're just looking at like this. It even like without a channel, that just looks really crazy to me, like how it's just gliding on up. I don't know how you exactly have it charted, but if you charted it like that, then yeah, it definitely is at this supply line, which it has pulled back at about 2 times previously. So it is kind of there on the 1 hour. Maybe if we go over to the 4 hour, it'll look a little bit cleaner. Yeah, I don't know if that's what you're looking at, but I'll keep it on my chart just like that. Perfect. All right, so that pretty much recaps everything I want to talk about from today. Thank you for the 30 likes. Thank you for the tips. Also, we got like, I think 5 new premium members today, which is awesome. So thank you to the new premium members who joined on the 1st of the month. You can join any day you want, but starting off July nicely, all-time highs on that. Appreciate all the support for real. Life-changing stuff. And yeah, let's get into ticker requests now. So for the rest of the stream, I'm just gonna look at tickers that you drop in the chat. Don't request anything you know, that was over like up 30% today, or even down 30% today. I don't want anything that went in a straight up or a straight down line in one candle. I want, you know, consistency, price movement, things that I can actually analyze. And don't give me any IPOs or things that recently IPO'd. I need data on the chart to actually chart, surprisingly enough. We're going to talk about Fisker right now. It pulled back today 4%. That classic bearish divergence, I think we talked about it last night on stream, is currently playing out. Broke under that 1882 support that we also were talking about. So now your closest support is about 1737. It used to be a resistance back in December and January, also September of last year. So your next support is 1737. On the daily, you don't have bearish divergence, but the MACD did cross over to red. And if we go down to the 1 hour, hidden bullish divergence is developing, but I don't really see much of like structure. But again, you know, Fisker, we've been talking about it. It's not really at the area that I look for it, or I don't see the indicators giving me the signals I want for a swing trade like I did see down over here. So I'm just waiting, you know, and I'll wait as long as I have to wait. I'm always very, very patient with Fisker. You know, over here, I waited, put out a trade over here, boom. Up over here, the target's hit. I waited. I put out one failed trade over here on like 13 bucks. It got stopped out. Put out another one at 10, 65% profit. So for me with Fisker, long term still love it. In terms of swing trades, I'll just wait until I see the clearest opportunities with the highest probability setups for a midterm move. But yeah, let me start adding these tickers to the chat. Keep hitting that like button. Join the Discord. The link's in the description. So we usually do Sunday group calls in the Discord, where basically I just scan for stocks that I share in a weekly watch list I sent for premium members. But if you join the group call, you could see all the stocks that I'm looking at in the scanning process. It's not going to be on Sunday this weekend because it's July 4th. So I'll probably do it on Saturday. So on Saturday afternoon, I'll probably do the group call in the Discord. If you want to ask me any questions about trading, just join the Discord and I'll see you on Saturday and we can talk. But yeah, I have a lot of tickers I need to start adding, so let me get to it. We already looked at Wish. It'll be in the timestamps after the stream is over. Just a really quick. There's one level. It's 1180. You want to hold 1180. It was your low from like 420. You want to hold 1180. That's the most important thing I see on Wish right now. So Airbnb. And also remember, nothing I say is financial advice. Don't get mad at me if I disagree with you on a stock. One of us is going to be wrong, so I'm going to be wrong here and there. I can't be right on every single idea I have for every single chart. It's just probability. CTRD does not see. Oh, he put CRTD. Never mind. It's going to take me a second to add all these, so just give me like 2 minutes. Is that LMT or IMT? I think you meant LMT. Yeah. DNUT. I actually just want to. I didn't even really look at that. I want to see how the IPO did, so I'll just add it. We did do AMC. That'll also be in the timestamps. You want to hold what is it, 51 on AMC? Yeah, you want to hold 51. That's the bottom of the channel. Again, for everybody who's requesting tickers that I've already gone over earlier in the stream, after the stream is over, Medi does timestamps of every single ticker. What? Another one? Skip T. Lou, thank you again for the third donation in 24 hours. All right, more tea right now. Skip T. Lou said, need to stay hydrated before you start the ticker request. Absolutely, let's get hydrated real quickly. Thank you for the reminder. Thank you for another 10. Vibes in the chat for Skip T. Lou. Really appreciate it. I forgot what I was saying before, but yeah. Let me just continue to add these tickers and then we'll start looking at all these charts. You're gonna have to give me some time to get through all of these. I like you know, spending time on each one and really, you know, giving all the things I see or talking about all the things I see on the chart. So give me some time to get to all of them. I can't look at DIDI. There's nothing for me to really look at on that chart. ROKU, yeah, we talked about it. Cheddar Freeze brought it up. Mitch Ray was talking about it on his stream. The bearish harmonic PCZs pulled back, but it actually is near support, which I'm going to talk about. So we'll see if it can bounce at that support. I looked at it today. CMMB, I think I might have skipped a few tickers by accident. Sorry about that. Wow, that's a lot of tickers. Oh my gosh. All right, so where did I leave off? CCIV. Okay. This is going to take a while to get through all of them. FUBO, I'm really confused now. Don't like type the same ticker in twice because then it makes me think I didn't do it yet and then I just mess it up. So let me just get this whole entire list in right here. I'm adding all the tickers, so don't like double request because then it just confuses me. Bark. NASCAR. I don't have the energy to have the same exact talk that we have like literally every other week. Cool. Don't need those types of moves to make money personally, but keep doing you. Nobody's ever hated on what you're doing. We just have different ways of trading. So yeah. Just because we're not focused on IPOs doesn't mean doesn't mean I don't want to go into it, but you like making money with IPOs and nobody's stopping you. It's just not what I do. I'm not telling anybody what or what not to do. So that's all I'm going to say there. TLRY already added. LMT. Yeah, I already added that one. Yeah, this is a lot of tickers right here. Let's gonna be a long stream, I guess. All right, I probably missed some takers just because there's so many. It's kind of like confusing. So this is gonna be the first round of takers. I don't even know if I'm gonna do a second round. Probably not, honestly. We'll see how I feel after I finish this round of take requests. But for right now, don't drop any more takers in the chat because there's no guarantee that I'm gonna look at them tonight. I'll let you know if after I finish all these takers that I'm about to look at, I have energy to look at more, I'll let you know then. But for right now, no need to drop any more takers. That's the first round right there. Do you see Wish making inverse head and shoulders on the daily? It has to break above 15 to confirm that. So it's possible, but there's nothing that I can do to know that it will do it for sure in the short term. So it's just kind of like, if it happens, it happens, great. If it doesn't, you know, just continue to look at the shorter time frame pivots. Airbnb, right in between support and resistance. Support is 144, resistance is 161. This was some sort of harmonic. Somebody shared with me on Discord. I forgot which one. Regardless, there's not much because the PCZ of the harmonic was down here. It's already bounced. There actually is a little bit of hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour for Airbnb. And that's really all I see right there. CRTD. Really low volume, looks like. I can't analyze any of that. Look how gappy it is. So really all I have to work with is like this right here. So support is between 275 to $3. You do have some hidden bullish divergence on the daily that is now confirmed. So that's good. Move on over to the 4-hour. Can't really chart the 4-hour. You are with the 200-day moving average, which is currently at 376. You just want to continue to hold above that. We have GD now. Maybe a little bit of a falling wedge here. Kind of like a mix between like a falling wedge and like a descending triangle. So you just want to continue to hold above like this. There's definitely a few different ways you could chart your lines, but that's kind of how I'm going to chart mine. You just want to hold above that support and then hopefully eventually break out of this. Kind of classic bullish divergence on the daily, very slightly on the MACD. DM, it looks like it has broken 1159. It needs to get back over 1159 for me to feel more confident about it. I've had a lot of people message me on Twitter about DM in the past week. But yeah, 1159 is a really important level. You want to get back above that level. Looks like you have kind of some support nearby though, around 1082-ish from like this low and then this low. I don't really see much of a pattern though. So yeah. Oh, you're putting lines in the chat for the take requests. Peloton, a little bit of classic bearish divergence is starting to develop on the daily. RSI is not overbought on the daily. Let's check out the 4-hour. It did get overbought on the 4-hour and you pulled back. That's what happens, you know? Looks like it also was at this 125 resistance area. Got a little bit above it, went up to 127, but eventually pulled back. Your support on Peloton is the 200-day moving average around 119. You want to hold above that. That's really it. You know, it's been on a crazy run. Comms is next. A little bit of an inverse head and shoulders, kind of. And hidden bullish divergence is looking pretty decent here. As long as it can hold above the lows from June 21st, which was $2.18, it looks pretty decent. Inverse head and shoulders, hidden bullish divergence on the MACD on the daily. Kind of also on the 4-hour, even though it's a pretty gappy chart, it's also there. So hidden bullish divergence, inverse head and shoulders. All you got to do is hold above 218. Next one is, again, this is going to take a while to get to all of them. I'm sorry for everybody who's waiting. DFH, I can't really do much here. Not a lot of data. 21 to 22 is your support. 27 to 29 is your resistance. You're in between them. The MACD is waning, which is good. Potentially a higher low is being created. You just want to hold above 22. Tattooed Chef. Hidden bullish divergence is still developing. It's still above the 200-day moving average. As long as you can hold above the 200-day moving average, still looks pretty decent here. things are good until you break that 200-day moving average. So you just have to continue to hold above it. But obviously, that was a really, really good entry down over there at the PCZ of the bat. LMT. Not too sure. 370 to 372 is your support. Resistance is 392 to 395. So it's kind of like a little bit of a range here. I don't really see. It is. No, it's not. Never mind. So no divergence on the daily. A little bit of classic bullish divergence on the 4-hour MACD. But not on the RSI. That's really it for that one. PENN is next. You're still just grasping onto that $75 level. As long as you can continue to do this, it still looks like a low risk, high reward potential setup. But again, it could easily be invalidated if PENN, drops 5%. A 5% pullback would break you under your lows from June. And if you break that, there is a lot of downside potential. So for me on PENN, it's like reverse above 75, you could go crazy high, or don't reverse above this $70 area and there's room all the way down to $50. So there's classic bullish divergence, a potential double bottom, break of a supply line. This is where you want to see reverse. I don't know if it will reverse here, but this is where you want it to, because otherwise you enter an area with very, very little support, because it just ran right up last year. So yeah, GHVI still just in this kind of ascending broadening wedge. Nothing's really changed here. I'm not too caught up with the fundamentals on this one, so can't speak on that. The chart now does have hidden bullish divergence confirmed on the daily. I think there was also some on the 4-hour. No. So yeah, daily hidden bullish divergence, but right in between support and resistance. Support is 14, resistance is 17, 80 TLRY. You got to start developing that hidden bullish divergence on the daily. It still does kind of look like an inverse head and shoulders, but again, it could still drop about 7 to 8% and have the potential to eventually make a breakout of this, but that would be at much higher prices. You just got to start developing divergence again. Hit the PCZ of a bullish bat / Gartley kind of, but also cipher scuffed harmonic. It was an XABCD, came down to a 786 retrace. Like, you could just look at it like this, honestly, Low to high, came down to a 786, bounced at the 786. There you go. RTX, a little bit of hidden, nope, not hidden bullish divergence on the daily. Kind of on the 4-hour, you do have hidden bullish divergence. And maybe breaking out of a little bit of a falling wedge, kind of. Not super filled out, but kind of breaking out. We'll see. Resistance is like 89.76. You just want to stay above 84.15, which was your low on June 30th. LTHM, I like the higher lows. I like the divergence. We looked at this a lot of times last week. I said, it was looking nice above this demand line, and it could eventually move up to that gap fill. It's getting close to the gap fill now. So exactly what you're looking for. Again, there was no certainty in this happening, but the probability did indicate that it would again bounce off the demand line because of divergence. It has done so. And now you want to just fill that gap at 2050. That could act as a resistance. It could not act as a resistance. If it doesn't act as resistance, then like 2440 is your bigger resistance from this candle high and this high, and still bullish above this demand line. It could literally pull back all the way over here, but still be bullish if it bounces off of it again. Krispy Kreme IPO today looks like it went pretty well. Yeah. Kind of unlike DIDI. I'm obviously not going to do any technicals on them. DIDI did not have a good first day, but bounced back nicely. What is this, art class? But bounced back nicely today. So 2 new IPOs this week. I'm thinking of a funny name to call this. This is the pencil pattern. That wasn't funny, sorry. ROKU 432. I think this was, I'm like 99% sure this was charted last night on stream. this 433 level. I don't know for sure, but I think it was. You can see this 433 level, it was a 2-day resistance on June 24th and 25th, and now it's becoming your support on Roku. It's all about this level. It dates back to these lows from the end of February and kind of a little bit of a resistance at the end of January. So 432 is a big level you want to hold on Roku. Otherwise, if you break that, the next support would be 400. So you want to hold above 432. We obviously did talk about last night the different types of potential bearish harmonics that are lining up over here. Cheddar Freeze brought up the shark, and it reversed right at the 886. So we talked about this last night on stream. It was at the level that could be a reversal level. We talked about that. Pulled back at it. Doesn't mean it's going to dump. Just means you got to a place where, based on Fibonacci and harmonics, it makes sense to pull back, and you pulled back at it, you know. So we'll see. We'll see if it can hold this support and just shoot back up, or if it's really, you know, time to head back down after a very legendary run over the past couple of weeks. It's all about that 432 area, in my opinion. We already talked about AMC earlier. TME, and again, there will be timestamps after the stream. I'm just going to delete that. When did I chart this? I think I was scanning when I charted this. So if we go over to the weekly on TME, there is hidden bullish divergence developing on the MACD and RSI. Again, that's the weekly. It could take forever. And on the weekly, this whole entire zone between like 14 to 1450 is a pretty important area. It's a pretty important area. You're above it. You actually back tested that support. It used to be resistance and support historically. You just want to hold above 1450 on TME. Short term though, I don't see much of a pattern here. Oh, it looks like there was some classic bullish divergence. You got a little bit of a rally, and now you're just kind of chopping around. Let me take a look at the chat for a second. Okay. Champ doing a speed run on the take request. Just trying. There's a lot. I mean, actually, I've almost gotten through not most of them. I still have about like 15 left, I think. So maybe I got through like half of them so far. Yeah, PENN. If it could just hold, what was it, 75? If it can just hold 75, I mean, it's a low risk, high reward area as long as you have a stop loss, you know? And again, that doesn't mean it's going to go up for sure. It just means you're risking a little percent for the chance of a much greater percent return. You got it, Joe. All right, let's get back to CMMB, Chemo Lab Therapeutics. 1437 looks like a historical support dating back to last summer. It was also resistance right during the COVID crash, it looks like. In the short term, no divergence on the daily, really gappy 4-hour. I'd say your resistance is 2605 from these lows, and not really that high, but from these lows over here and over here, I'd say 26 is your resistance and 14 is your support. You're right in between them. You don't have divergence. This to me is a 50-50. Like, definitely lower risk areas than anywhere up here historically. These are where you have seen crazy runs off of, but again, it took a year for this to really go. So we'll see. Like, if you zoom out, it looks better, but if you zoom in, it looks like a 50-50 in the short term. So we'll see which way it goes. FSM, we talked about it last night. Was at 1% today. It looks the same. You're still above that support, and how I have it charted, you're above that channel demand line. Divergence is still developing on the daily. It's also still confirmed and increasing on the 4-hour. This one still looks pretty interesting to me. Like, really, anything above 525 on this one is bullish to me. So we'll see if we can get a nice pivot here. Yeah, not much has changed. IPWR, broke a supply line, broke back above a historical area. Look at this, right? This is very simple technical analysis, all right? These are all the things I talk about. The main things I look for: support and divergence, right? you had classic bullish divergence on the daily. You were making lower lows on price. From one MACD island to the next one, you had much less negative momentum on your lower low on price. Eventually, you broke a very, very clear supply line right over here, right around May 14th, when a lot of growth stocks and tech stocks were bottoming. And when I made that legendary stream that only like 15 people watched because everybody was so mad that everything was dumping, and then everything reversed. Not everything, but a lot of things. So it broke this supply line with the divergence. It ran up, broke the 200-day moving average like it was nothing, broke back above 11 like it was nothing, even though 11 was a pretty real level. It was a resistance, support, resistance, 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 support. Look at how historical that 1082 level is. Just blew right over it. So anything above 1082 is bullish still. I mean, obviously this was the area where like a technical trader has the best opportunity, but even up here, you are in between support and resistance, so it could go to either one. But still, like above that 1082 level, it can go crazy. Look at that historically. Once it broke, you can see that it broke under 1082, and it was in like a 2-year bear, super bear trend. I mean, even before that was in a bear trend, but it was like really bad, kind of made like a rounding bottom. And then as soon as it broke back over that 1082 mark, which was a support from years ago, it went insane. So now it's back above 1082. This is a very, very educational chart, right? Like historical price action. Put this on your watch list and just study the levels. I mean, study that 1082 level. You know, it's a nice line. So yeah. CCIV, pulling back a little bit today. Had a great day yesterday. Hidden bullish divergence is still confirmed and increasing on the daily, even with the pullback today. Your MACD went up a little bit higher than yesterday. 4-hour MACD is starting to lose a little bit of steam. You were slightly overbought on the RSI. You're not currently overbought. Still looks good to me above 24.41. Above 25 bucks, there's such little resistance till 32. I do think that with a 90% probability, CCIV will see 32 in the future. Does that mean tomorrow? Probably not. It could mean 2 months from now, a year from now. That's not really like a prediction, but it's also not a certainty. I just think that above 25, there's a good chance of seeing 32 at some point. I don't know how long it'll take. I believe the merger vote is at the end of this month. I had to sneeze and then I didn't have to sneeze. Sorry. ATIP. We looked at this like yesterday or something. I can't really do anything here. It's in between support and resistance, very choppy chart. There is somewhat classic bullish divergence on the daily. I guess it's moving back up a little bit. Resistance is 10 bucks. Yeah. FUBO first close under 31.38 since June 18th. That's not good. On the 4-hour, your classic bearish divergence is continuing to play out. You got to reclaim 31.38 and close above it. Hopefully, like literally tomorrow. All you need to do is, you know, go up like 38 cents. But if you break that 31.38 level, then your next support is like 27.24 from this over here, and from this low. Thinks about it. Got to get back above that. Love bounced today. I think Cheddar Freeze maybe has been talking about this one. Oh, but it did come down to that $53 level, which I did believe I talked about when I looked at it, I think at some point this week. So 53, if you can just hold above that, it's a pretty historical area from over here and even over here. You just want to hold above 53. Even if you don't, you sub the 200-day moving average. I don't know though. I don't really know how to exactly, you know, do much here. You could definitely find some types of harmonics, but you kind of have to pick like a random swing low, which I don't like doing. Kind of also like a rounding top, but again, if it just breaks this supply line, which it tested it today, it could make a move back up to 58. So even just looking at that little down sloping channel broadening wedge is pretty interesting. Bark is next. I don't know if this is SPAC, but it looks like there's some support right around 10 bucks. You just want to hold above that. Resistance is 12.30-ish from this low, this high, kind of that candle high. So you're closer to support than your resistance. I don't see any divergence on the daily or the 4 hour. You made a lower low on price, so you can't have hidden bullish divergence. ALL, ROKU supply line has found like a 4-day support, right? For 4 days, it did not close under 129. It confirmed hidden bullish divergence today, and it was up 2%. It is now approaching the 134.2 resistance. So we'll see what it does there. But yeah, it broke out. It's making a move. 134.20 is resistance. After that, 139.38 or 139.38. Apple testing a major level. If it breaks this level, Apple can go insane. Like really, I've been super bullish on Apple since like this area. And it's making a very, very nice run. So if it can break over 138, then after that, all you have left is like 144, which honestly, I don't even think that'll be a big resistance. If it gets there, I do think there's a decent chance of it breaking it, because that was just like an up thrust. And the real big level that was rejected 4 times is really 138 from right here, right here, right here, and right here. But also do keep in mind you're getting slightly overbought on the daily. You don't want to be getting overbought right when you're at your breakout point. You typically want to, maybe be around like a 60 RSI when you're trying to break out. It never smells like food in this room, but for some reason it smells like food right now. That's so strange. I don't know. Neo pulled back 4% today. Classic. Again, it's only potential for now. It's not confirmed. It's even barely developing, but there is a potential for classic bearish divergence on the daily if the MACD eventually goes back down to red. It's going crazy, but again, we talked about that 46 level. It broke above 46, broke above that level. Then we said the next level is 57 from this high. It got pretty close. It got up to 55.29. Pulled back today. A lot of EVs and POS stocks and growth stocks pulled back today. The ARC was red today. Which tracks a lot of those types of names, which were a lot of, swing trades that I've currently been in. So yeah, 46 is support, 57 is resistance. You're right in between them. That's really it. Palantir. Look at that. Again, and this could easily just make a higher low and then run crazy again. Look how cool that is. This was alerted to premium members down at 19. Hit the first target, and you could see at that first target, it kind of lost, like up until the first target, it was just kind of going like straight up. Then it got to the first target and it just kind of started to lose some steam. It was just going sideways, just consolidating. Then eventually it ended up using that 24 level as support over here, ran right up to the second target of the trade, and reversed like right at the second target. And then since it hit the second target of this trade, I think like this week on Monday, I think, or something, it's dropped 10%. So yeah, this is how you can use simple technical analysis to find targets before the price even gets there, right? None of these, let me fix that. None of these candles were on the chart when I put out this trade. The chart looked like this. When I put out the trade, it was right over here. It looked like this. And I targeted 24 and 27, and both of them were resistances. 27 was resistance for like 2 weeks or a week. Or 24 was resistance for like a week, and then 27, it was a 786 retrace, got right up to it, pulled back at it. Now at this point, again, that I didn't really analyze the chart there, I'm just talking about like some education, but at this point 2420 is like the level you want to hold. It was your high on April 27th. There is some classic bearish divergence also playing out on the 4 hour. Not much to really talk about on the daily. As long as you can hold above 2420, it's still fine, but you got to hold on to that level. Viacom, anything above 43 on Viacom is bullish. That's a major breakout over the 200-day moving average and 2-month long resistance. Starting to consolidate a little bit after the breakout, which is completely fine. But you could see that the volume you had on the breakout was like the highest volume you've had since April. So it's a very real breakout. Anything above 43 on Viacom is still bullish. We've been talking about it every single night. I do think eventually it could easily see 53.79 as long as it can stay above 43, So those are the low risk, high reward potential opportunities you want to be looking for. And that 53 comes from this swing high in July of 2019. Just got to hold 43 on Viacom. Even this 43 level, why did it find resistance at 43 in the past couple of months? It was support over here. It was resistance over here. Anything else? Not really over there. Kind of, if we really zoom in over here, it was a little bit of resistance like right there. Always zoom out on your charts and find those important levels, right? As a swing trader, you need to be doing that. And we made it through the list. There we go. So yeah, that'll probably be it for the stream tonight. Thank you for the tips. Really appreciate it. Skip, T-Lou, and D. I really need to find a better way to like view all this. But yeah, appreciate the 35 likes. Hit that subscribe button if you didn't already, and if you enjoyed the stream, join the Discord. The link's in the description. Yeah, I'll see you all on Monday night, because the market is closed on Monday. So have a good night. Have a great weekend. Good luck trading tomorrow. I hope you enjoy the 4th of July. And I'll see you all later. Peace out. Tim, Cheddar Freeze, Kevin, Brad, the guy, Joe, Scrooge, all the people in the chat. Have a good one. All right.
Scared of dentists and the dark. I was scared of pretty girls and starting conversations. All my friends are turning green. Yeah, the magician's assistant in their dream. Oh, and they come unstuck. Lady, running down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. Is this movie that I think you like? This guy decides to quit his job and head to New York City. This cowboy's running from himself. She's been living on the highest shelf. Oh, and they come unstuck. Lady, running down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. I just wanna know if you're gonna stay. I just gotta know. I can't have it any other way. I swear she's destined for the screen. Closest thing to Michelle Pfeiffer that you've ever seen. Oh, lady.